My name's Lance Brauman, and today we're going to be doing some starts. All right, Noah's going to load himself in, try to get pressure on both feet. Just trying to get his front knee just about an inch behind the line, so you know you're lined up properly, and then in the front leg, about a 90-degree angle. As you see there, and about 130 on the back leg. Both feet flat against the pads. First movement is driving that back foot and the hips through and trying to keep the foot, back foot close to the ground while staying on the ball of the foot at foot contact. Slightly a toe off there. Could be a little bit more through the midfoot on that push. But a good job of staying on the ball of the foot and keeping that foot active up underneath his hips. Still holding that slight lean forward. Good extension off the pad. You see here that he's doing a really good job of bringing the foot back up underneath and staying on the ball of the foot. The toe actual movement could be a little lower to the ground, but the actual position isn't bad. You're just trying to keep your contact time closer to the ground through every movement so that you're not wasting time floating in the air. You can only apply force to the ground when your foot's on the ground, so you want to spend the least amount of time through your first 5 steps in the air. You want to obviously spend more time exerting force than floating. Slightly adrift to the left side of the lane, but doing a really good job of keeping that leg straight at foot contact and the knees together on each contact time. It allows you to, spend less time on the ground, which is what you're looking for in any sprinter. On the bend, you try to set the blocks up so you're not going straight down the middle of the lane, but slightly turned into the lane line. We break the lane into thirds, so we're shooting for that first third of the lane, so you're not having to worry about running on the lane line, but also you're trying to run close to the lane line, so just slightly inside on that third position. You can see her left foot pad is actually pointed towards the slight yellow line up in front of her, which would be the exchange zone of a 4x1 exchange. So you get an idea of where you're actually pointing to go so that you're not swinging around the turn, but more driving, cutting a little bit of distance off in the first 10 meters.
Can you talk us through what you were saying to Shaunae?
I'd seen on her practice start before that, she didn't have a proper lean forward and her front knee angle was a little high. So I was just demonstrating to her that I wanted a little bit more lean forward, and that front knee in that set position is driving down the track and not up in the air, because the hips are going to follow where that line is. Good foot contact. She's staying on the ball of the foot well. She's hitting that first inside third of the line. And she's doing a good job of keeping the foot low and keeping contact points through the first 5 steps. Could have been a slightly bit more open on that first position, but it wasn't bad. And she's doing a good job of really getting the foot back up underneath, so I'd lean more to the side of getting the foot position in those first 5 steps than getting too open. Because if you get too open, you have a tendency to land flat on your heel, and you actually have to ride that step, which takes time. But you can see how active the foot contact is and how the knee's driving back to the front side, right off the ground. That's what you look for. And you can see here that she's on that first inside third, riding the line really well.
In terms of where your feet strike, should it always be pressed directly below?
You want to try to get it almost a negative foot action back up underneath the hip, and she does a good job of this here, but it's the foot comes, you don't really want the toe in front of the knee as it comes through the front side of the movement, because if you do, you have a tendency to slap the ground and get caught behind the foot. So trying to get it right up underneath the hip with a little bit of negative foot force right there. She does a good job of that, and you can see that she's staying compact, and when her foot hits the ground, the knees are together or slightly ahead, which is exactly what you're looking for. and no butt kick, which is, when everybody talks about front side mechanics, they're talking about cutting out anything that's behind the body. The back shin angle's nice and flat, heel staying away from the bottom. Yeah, that's a good position. And then on the turn itself, you really want that left leg to be active and underneath the body so that you don't have because a lot of people have a tendency to drop that inside left shoulder, and it causes you to reach out in front of your body, and you're actually having to ride that foot across instead of being able to get off of it into your next stride.
So, you get this?